Hello there. What is going on, everybody? Today we finally get a Specialists preview. This is for the Rebel Specialists Personnel expansion. If you're not familiar with this for Star Wars Legion, this is going to be the expansion to spice up your entire builds. I think this is one of those expansions that's going to be great value for your buck because you're getting a whole lot of stuff, although you're not really getting a whole lot of different units. You're getting a whole bunch of individual minis that can go into existing units, increase all your core models. You're also able to use your leader unit as an individual commander. So this is kind of like a Commander Plus expansion. A lot of really cool stuff. And these, we just learned that these are actually shipping too. So we should get these like as early as next week, probably late next week. I'm guessing next Thursday is probably the street date. However, I did get a shipping notice. I had some pre-orders in, so I should also have these next week as well. So stay tuned for unboxing and review videos of these as well as the Imperial ones. We haven't got the Imperial unit preview yet. I'm sure that will be coming soon. Also giving away a Star Wars Force FX lightsaber in the form of an Amazon gift card. So if you're not already subscribed, make sure you hit that subscribe button and leave a comment. Let me know what your favorite unit in Star Wars Legion is, and then you will automatically be entered to win. All right, let's dive into what they've shown us in this preview today, because this is pretty cool. So we got a good look at the sculpts. You've probably seen these. These have been on display in their cases ever since Gen Con. So I think these are already gorgeous looking. That is Gideon from Imperial Assault as well, although he's not named Gideon. It's definitely Gideon. That's 2-1B. Looks like R5D4, and we'll call her Brittany, the other girl. I don't know what her name is. I don't think she has a name. All right, but yes. So here is our spread, and I think we have most of the cards spoiled now at this point. I think there's one card unspoiled so far, and hopefully I can bring that to you if my pre-order gets here soon enough. Maybe I'll get the scoop on the last unspoiled card, or I might have been wrong. It may have been spoiled elsewhere. But yeah, so we're getting, and you're getting all this. You're getting 4 minis. They're not a coherent unit, but the leader can be a generic commander. I think a cool thing about having a generic commander that's just rebel officer is that you can really do, like, put yourself in the game, right? Like I'm actually thinking of going to like Hero Forge and like creating my own mini, having it 3D printed, mailed out to me, and being like Crabbok the commander with nunchucks or something like that. I'm gonna try and I'll do it. Maybe I'll do that over next live stream. Maybe I'll go ahead and design one. It'll be fun. And no, Hero Forge doesn't give me any endorsements or whatever. I just think it's a cool website. Okay, so people ask me that a lot. Like, are you getting paid to do these? These? No, like I'm just enthusiastic about certain products and certain stores and certain companies. So we get some new command cards. This is also very, very cool because these are generic command cards. They are going to be Rebel only. So we have Sabotage Communications. It's a 1-pip, and of course you are going to need new command cards if you want to run a generic commander, because you've got your 3 generic 1, 2, and 3 pips, and you have to have 7 command cards with your 4-pip. So you need another 1, 2, and 3, and you can't have duplicates. So these will be crucial if you want to run a generic commander, or if you want to run any other commander. You can also consider these as for whatever purposes you want. So we got another 1-pip. This one's restrictive. Now, one of the things I'm noticing about these different new command cards is that they are like dual-faced. Like they have a pro and a con, right? And in your generic 1-pip is just 1 unit, but it can be any unit, so you get flexibility. Here you're limited to an operative or a special forces unit, but you also get the bonus of your opponent must issue orders to 1 fewer unit than is indicated on their command card, to a minimum of 1. So this can turn like a 3-pip when they can activate 3 units to 1 fewer. Very, very cool. I like that it's doing something. It's not game breaking. It's not like, oh, I must have this card, but it's just a little something that is nice. And who knows, maybe someday this will actually give you a real nice edge. Or I don't expect it will. I think it's just a nice little bonus, and in the right situations could be pretty useful. But it's an alternative also. Or maybe you'll use this and the generic 1-pip. Turning the Tide. I like this one a little better. It is also two units, and it's restricted to support or heavy units. And you're starting to see a theme here, right? Like, while it gives you some extra text at the bottom, it's also more restrictive in who you can give it one to. This one's going to be harder to use because, like, who's going to run 2 heavies, right? Well, we did actually just get some new heavy units announced, so it is possible you might want to try out the new land speeder and air speeder together, or something like that. Or this actually would be really useful in a Grand Army game. By the way, pause. You see what's in the background? AT-ATs. There's AT-ATs in the background. I'm just saying, sometimes they tease you, or sometimes they just drive me crazy with AT-ATs because I want an AT-AT so bad in this game. All right, so, but this one's 2 support or heavy units. You could do one and one if you want. It's rebel only. Also, and it says each friendly support and heavy unit gains Inspire 2. Inspire 2 is pretty good because you're getting rid of 2 suppression and activate them and clear suppression off of other troops, so I like that. This one actually might be really nice for the snow speeder if it's farther up ahead, because it's likely to be in an interesting position. You might have some troops that have advanced and taken suppression, and maybe they're a little far away from your commander. If you're running Leia and you were like hoping to hit them with Inspire and they can't, well, now your vehicles can do it. Pretty interesting. Probably more likely to be used with ATRTs though, right? My guess is that I wouldn't use it with the 1FD turret, the 1-4FD, or I wouldn't use it with the turret because the turret can't move. So who's going to stay right next to it that's going to need to be benefited from Inspire? I think it's more of an ATRT card. And then covering fire, we got our Twilek on there. Twilek. Do you say Twilek? I say Twilek. All right. I've heard people say Twilek before, and I don't believe that's how it's pronounced at all. As a matter of fact, it's... Yeah. Anyway, 3 core. 3 core units. Now this one, very easy to use. Probably maybe the best card out of the whole bunch. After a friendly core unit performs a ranged attack, another friendly unit at range 1 to 2 may gain a dodge token. It doesn't have to be another core unit that gains the dodge token either. It's only a core unit. And it doesn't have to be one of the core units that you activated. So this is actually really good to run with like 6 Rebel Troopers with Z6. Rebel Troopers get that bonus from having a dodge. All right, they want to spend dodge tokens, they get dodge tokens back. You can activate 3 core units. You can have, even if you lose a unit or 2, you'll still have 3 core units left alive. The limiting factor here is you need core units left alive to assign the orders to. But it's just a really good, like maybe second or third turn play. I really like this card a lot. I think this is better. Although, honestly, it may not be better than the default 3 pip, because ideally it would be best if you had 3 core units and like 3 special forces or something like that. And then you eliminate, you get all your core units, their orders, and then if you pull from the pile, you'll probably get SF or support or whatever it is that's one of the things I like about spamming core, because I can have like 6 core units and I just issue orders to everything else, and then I know if I pull from the pile, I'm going to get core. And so this kind of goes in the opposite direction, which we're starting to get to that point right now where it's possible to do that. Like between Wookiees and our other special forces, and then we've got, there's more stuff on the horizon too. Always, like, Legion has been having a ton of news lately. It's crazy. We got the Rebel Officer. He's only 50 points. He's got the command and the equipment, a black die for unarmed, a black and a white, range 1 to 2 blaster pistol. He's got surge to hit and defensive surge, white defense die, speed 2. Very well rounded, just not super impressive, but just decent. What's nice about him is he's 50 points and he's your commander, so that's cool. He's got take cover 1. Okay, gives a dodge token, so kind of like Leia. He's got inspire 1, kind of like Leia, and he's got sharpshooter. All in all, it reminds me a lot of Leia, just cheaper and not quite as good, but still having some of that benefit. My problem is, I look at this and my initial thought is like, well, why would I ever take Leia again? Like, if he's, he's not half the price of her, he's more expensive than that, but, if he's close to, if he's in the ballpark of being half Leia's price, why would I want to take Leia? I mean, she's not that much better to, and it boils, the answer is the command cards. And that may not be a good enough answer for some of you, but I think that is the answer. So we're going to play test, and we're going to do some games, and we'll really, and I think a really good thing going forward in the next couple of months after these come out is use a Rebel Officer as your commander, and then use Leia as your commander, and start citing the differences, and really try to take note of is she worth the extra points. And you may find that she is. I think one of the things that's also, it's not just command cards, but it's also things like Boba Fett. he's going to come around and put a bounty on this guy. And, this guy can die pretty easy. Leia has things that allow her to survive a little bit more than this guy does. That's something to think about. But you can use that same mini in a different way, and this is super cool too. You can take that same mini, who was going to be your commander, say, oh, well, all right, I'll run Leia. Okay, no problem. Well, I'll take this guy. I'm going to put him into one of my units. And so he can be your personnel upgrade. He becomes the leader. He gives you +1 courage, and he gives you Inspire 1, so you can remove suppression. Inspire is a really nice ability, especially if your leader moves off. I really like having Inspire. I like the idea of this if I'm running Luke, because Luke might get so far forward doing his lightsaber attacks and stuff that he can't, I can't use his courage value. He may get too far away from other people. So having a rebel officer to bridge the gap and maybe towards the rear can help remove suppression from those other units to keep them from panicking, or hopefully. Or also, you're one nearby unit that's got a single suppression and now is likely to only have one action. It can help make sure that they take care of that. So I love that. It also increases your courage. This actually makes for a good, if you have him in a core unit, it makes for a really good nomination for your new commander. If you're running a single commander and they get killed, here's your new commander. He's already got courage of 2, which means other guys have to have 4 to panic, so still less likely to deal with panic. Love, love, love this. Maybe the best card in the whole pack, right? Maybe. It's 19 points, though. It's a little expensive, but you're getting a lot for your points. You have the Rebel Comms Technician. Now you got a cheaper personnel option. Well, it seems that way, right? Seems cheaper at first. And it's Rebel only as the Comms Mini Technician. You gain the Comm upgrade, but you must equip a Comm upgrade card. That's the key, right? So while it's 1 point cheaper than the regular generic Rebel Trooper, now it doesn't have to go in Rebel Trooper. You can put it in Fleet Troopers. You can put it wherever you want. You're probably best off putting it in the core unit that costs the most per mini. This way, so it probably works better on Fleet Troopers because that mini that you're adding is still going to get to use the weapon of the Fleet Troopers, right? And if they have a better weapon, then maybe that's worth more there. So that's something to think about. But you got to think about what kind of core or what type of comms you want to put on there, because you have to. Ideally, you want to put it on a unit that's going to be able to benefit from that. They did give us a new comm, so this is the comms relay. When you would be issued an order, you may choose a friendly unit at range 1 to 2, issue it to that chosen unit instead. Really, really cool. I kind of almost wish I could put this, on certain other units, like maybe a Royal Guard with Palpatine, and have him issue it to the Royal Guard and then pass it on to an ATST or for free or something like that. Although I probably would never run Palpatine in an ATST, so I'm brainstorming, not even thinking it through. That's way too many points in two big units. But there's a lot of different options you can do here. So, and it bypasses unit type as well. So you don't have to be core to core. I can have a snowspeeder out there, and I can be oh, okay. And this kind of gets you around some of the restrictions on those new command cards as well. Because, again, a lot of vehicles have comms relay as well. So if you're playing, I must put this on a support or heavy. Well, relay, let me get that core unit that's way up front. So kind of cool. Because, again, this doesn't have to go on a trooper unit with that comms technician. This can go on anybody who's got a comms slot. So that's kind of cool. We've got our medical droid. Is a non-combatant, so not shooting. And, so that's, that seems like, do I really want to add somebody who's not going to shoot? Well, maybe you put a Rebel Trooper unit out there with no heavy weapon. Maybe you just have them for objective play. And 18 points is a lot, but they're going to be able to treat, they're going to be able to heal units or restore a mini to a lost unit. Granted, before you get ahead of yourself, if you restore a mini to a defeated unit, they come back with only 1 health remaining. So don't think you're going to be I'm bringing back a Wookiee with 3 health. No, you're bringing back a Wookiee with 1 health. You're not getting around this whole it's only 1 health. You're actually better off using this guy to treat somebody like Luke Skywalker, because it takes more to get a damage through on Luke than it does to get a damage through on a Wookiee. As Luke's got the red defense die, and usually will have a dodge, so usually has defensive surge as well. Your healing is going to be much more beneficial on a unit that's tougher and harder to heal. Similarly, we've got the R5 Astromech droid. Again, I think this guy can only be used once. He has to be used on a ground vehicle. the Rebels only have one ground vehicle, right? Aren't the speeders all repulsor vehicles? So it's not going to work on any of them. So he can be used exclusively for the ATRT, or are there more ground vehicles planned? There probably are, right? I would guess you wouldn't make something that, no, we're never going to make another ground vehicle. We made this guy exclusively for one type. So any other future ground vehicles that come out, this guy will be able to work with as well. Yeah, so he's going to go ahead and do the same thing for a ground vehicle. And if Rebels end up getting a ground vehicle with red defense dice and defensive surge, this would be a great option to use to heal that. This one I'm not so crazy about, though, just because I'm not a big fan of vehicles. ATRT is a good vehicle. Don't get me wrong; it is a good vehicle, but I'm not the biggest fan of them. At least right now. More like I'll do it for fun, but like a lot of times when I'm playing for fun, I like to run the snow speeder. It's not very good at all, but it's fun and it's fast. I think it is kind of good, but it's not like super competitive. But he can't, they're too far up, they're too fast. Those compulsory moves, he's like, hold still so I can heal you, and they're flying away. So yeah, that's what we got for the Rebel Specialist today. If you like this video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. Let me know what you think down in the comments below. Don't forget to enter that big lightsaber giveaway. Details for that are on Crabbok.com, but you just have to be a subscriber and leave a comment. And that's about it, guys. I want to thank my patrons on Patreon. You guys are helping make this all possible, so I want to thank you all very much. If you'd like to join the team, you can click on one of the links down in the description below. Lots of links, lots of description links. Click on all of those. You can follow me on social media if you want. You can hop in my Discord and say hi. I want to thank you all so much for watching. Let me know when you think we're going to see the Imperial version of this. All right, guys. Have a great day.